I woke up feeling like the clock was ticking in my ear. It became louder every single day. It was the sound of my purpose screaming at me, demanding my attention, demanding to be realized. Yet I wouldn't listen. You see, there's one big lie we tell ourselves, and it wasn't until I realized the lie and how toxic it was. Well, that's when everything changed for me. I'm going to show you how to finally break free from this lie before those feelings of purpose fade away forever. Deep down, you know you're meant for something more. You can feel it, but every time you get close to figuring it out, something holds you back. I know because I spent years telling myself this same lie. Let me show you what this looks like in real life using my chalkboard here on the desk. This is the cycle that most of us are stuck in right now. So we start our day, let's say it's 6 a.m. So let's draw a circle here. So we start here with all the best intentions. I would wake up and say to myself, looking in the mirror, today's gonna be different. Today is the day that I'm going to start that business or focus on writing that book or build the life that I'm dreaming about every day. So we can put this wall over here and we can create that. These are our dreams. This is our purpose. So all the best intentions, but we only have a limited amount of time in the day. So here's what happens. So we get started and we move forward toward our dreams, but then it gets to 9 a.m. and we hit a bit of a diversion. Oh no, there's a sudden email, someone needs help from me. I have to drop everything and take care of it, and that pushes us off track down here. So now down here we start solving the email, but then oh no, we get done with that, and now it pushes us over here. And now we have to deal with something in our personal life or some crisis that needs our immediate attention. And then we try to get up back here and we might get back on our path a little bit, but then we get knocked up here into another direction. And this is something that can't wait. This is a burning problem. And guess what? We're already at 4 p.m. How much work can you get done at 4 p.m.? You have between 4 p.m. and if you're like me, 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. going to bed. That's presuming you don't have any kids or life at home or anything else to do. So you have what? About 4 hours here to even think about pursuing your dreams. And then what happens, we repeat the same cycle the next day and we get stuck in this repetitive pattern. And what didn't happen? We didn't follow at least somewhat of a straight line to get to our dreams. And in turn, we've invested this little bit of time up here for our purpose. This is what I'm talking about changing. This is the lie we tell ourselves. And I even have a name for what I call these dots right here that got us off track. We call these fun things the purpose blockers. These are standing in our way from achieving our purpose. But what's interesting is when I dug deeper to understand why this was happening, I uncovered something even more shocking. These diversions that I'm showing you here aren't just random distractions. There's actually something much deeper happening. And the first truth, it's almost embarrassing to admit about these purpose blockers right here. We are choosing these disruptions because they're easier than choosing our own path. Think about it. These urgent emails, these requests, these emergencies that take us off track, they pull our attention away from our real purpose, because we want to deal with those pressing projects that have to be done right now. But deep down, it's giving us something we all need. It's giving us an immediate sense of dopamine. We all want dopamine because it makes us feel satisfied. It makes us feel worthy. We solved these problems. Guess what? None of this was satisfied. We focused all of our energies over here. But there's one more thing it gives us. And I had to really grapple with this one when I made this self-discovery because it shocked me. It gives us permission to delay the scary decision to go all in on our purpose. When we're responding to other people's demands, we don't have to think for ourselves. We don't have to create. We don't have to lead. We just have to follow. I did this for many years in my corporate career, always being the reliable one, the problem solver, the person who could handle any crisis, and it felt good. It felt safe. But what I was really doing, I was hiding. Because here's the second truth I want to share with you, and this one's even harder to face. We're not just avoiding our purpose because following is easier. We're avoiding it because we're actually terrified of succeeding at it. Think about it this way. If you actually found and lived your purpose, everything would have to change. Your identity, your relationships, your entire life structure. And that, my friends, Well, it's terrifying. So we do something fascinating. We actively choose these diversions. We almost welcome them subconsciously. Because as long as we're busy putting out other people's fires, we never have to face the biggest possibility of all, that we could truly achieve our full purpose. And this is when I discovered what it looks like to grapple with being terrified of my purpose. You see, what makes this pattern so dangerous is that the purpose blockers actually distract us from something much bigger that we need to be paying attention to. And that's in those moments when our guard drops, when we stop focusing on putting out the fires and we actually start feeling and living in the moment. Let me show you what I mean. This is a typical day where we have our path going here and we have rises and falls throughout the day. These peaks are what I'm most interested in here because these tell us something very interesting about what our purpose is. That's why I call these purpose peaks. They're like mountains. And so these actually lead us like breadcrumbs to the solution that we want to focus on. What's fascinating about these moments is they often come when we're not following someone else's structure. They appear when we're naturally in flow, when we've temporarily forgotten to be afraid of our own potential. These aren't just random good moments. They're actually windows into your purpose trying to show itself. Maybe you felt them too. Those moments when everything aligns, when you can see exactly who you're meant to become. The vision is so clear it almost hurts. When these glimpses appear, we do something that makes absolutely no sense, and I'm the first in line to do this. Instead of moving toward these moments, we actually run from them. And there's a pattern to how we actually do it. I did this for years. Every time new purpose tried to show itself, I'd find a new excuse. It's not the right time. I need more experience. I should focus on what's practical. But here's what nobody's gonna tell you about these glimpses of purpose. Each time you turn away from them, they don't stay the same. They actually start to fade, like a photograph left in the sun too long. The clarity gets fuzzy, the pole gets weaker, the vision starts to dim. It took me years to understand everything in its full picture. These weren't just random moments of inspiration that I was letting slip away. No, they were my purpose, trying to break through the walls that I'd built to keep them out. And that's when I discovered the truth. These glimpses aren't random at all. They're actually breadcrumbs leading us to our purpose, if we have the courage to follow them. And here's a mic drop moment about purpose. It's not something you find by following someone else's path. It's something you uncover by finally having the courage to listen to your own unique voice. After working with hundreds of people caught in this same pattern, I discovered something fascinating about how purpose actually works. Most people think finding their purpose is about gathering more information, getting more experience, or waiting for the right moment. But that's not it at all. Purpose isn't something you find. It's something you stop hiding from. And this is where everything changes, because once you understand what I'm going to show you about purpose, you'll never look at it the same way again. There are two realities that every successful person I've worked with had to embrace. Following other structures will never lead to your own purpose. The fear of success is actually showing you exactly what you need to do. I discovered this by accident. Instead of trying to figure out my purpose, I started doing something very different. I began tracking my excuses. So every time I felt that pull towards something meaningful, I wrote down my reason for not pursuing it, and a pattern started to emerge. Every excuse was really just fear wearing a different mask. I would say I need more experience, but that was the fear of being judged. I would say the timing isn't right, but that was the fear of disrupting comfort. I would say I need to prepare more, but that was just the fear of success itself. And here's where it gets fascinating. These fears don't just show you what you're avoiding, they actually point you directly toward your purpose. So remember those glimpses I spoke about earlier, those purpose peaks? Let's connect those to these fears. When you feel that spark of alignment, that moment when time disappears and you feel fully alive, pay attention to exactly what you're doing. What problem are you solving? Who are you helping? What unique strengths are you using? Because these aren't random good feelings. They're actually your purpose revealing itself in these little moments, in real time. And here's the powerful part, the thing I did. The very same things that create your biggest fears are connected to your deepest purpose. This is why I like to keep a purpose journal. It's so powerful because in real time, when you experience these moments of complete alignment, Document them immediately. Answer some of these questions. What exactly were you doing? How did it feel in your body? What impact were you having? What made this moment different? And over time, a pattern will start to emerge for you too. Your purpose isn't some mysterious external thing you need to find. It's already showing itself to you in these peak moments. The fears and excuses, they're not blocking your purpose. They're actually pointing you like a compass to find the purpose. And that's when everything changed for me, because these fears, they weren't actually blocking the purpose. They were revealing it. Think about it. We only feel fear about things that matter to us, things that could change everything, things that align with our true purpose. Here's what this means for you. Those fears that you feel when you think about your purpose, they're not warning signs. They're actually those signposts guiding you to where you need to go. Because your purpose isn't this mysterious thing you need to find. It's the path you've been avoiding because it feels too big, too important, and too real. There's one more big thing to understand when you think about chasing your purpose, and it's called loops. I talked about them earlier, where we get stuck in the circular pattern and never get out. So go ahead and jump over to this video where I talk about how to identify loops and break free from them, telling my story about leaving my corporate job to go all in on my dreams. So I'll see you over there in the next video. Thanks for watching. Later.